Now there ain't nothing to it, go ahead and bring Goliath on. Ain't no giant, I ain't gon' fire on. Catch a fade, you, I'm wrong, I'm gone. Y'all can catch the wave that I am on. I am icon, y'all are wide wrong. Think that I'm a reconcile born, so ain't nothing to it though. This is on me, ain't got much to do with who you know. Keeping it true to form 10 L's into a milli though. But they already knew that those farewell to your opinions, know that he is so. This is all me, ain't got much to do with who you know. Yeah, keeping it true to form, but they already knew that, y'all. Here we go.
I'ma show you who I am unbreakable. I'ma make you understand. Watch me escape it all. The world is in my hands, I am unbreakable. I'ma show you who I am.
All that debate and cease and take seats. I hate to be the one say I ain't keep 100. Dread you changing me, we major league. They pay to see the way that we come and compete. It's clear to me, you talking off and me. You say the least, you better believe we been through the ringer, we're through to them arenas. Menu that's for dinner or the ring of 5 fingers. And the difference that's between us, read it written in subpoenas. So in other words, the game that need us, we just reinvigorated. Little agitated, had to get them activated. No kind of active ain't it. And my occupation got me activated, but I'm obligated later. Rest of conversating, be an understatement just to say that. This is all me, ain't got much to do with who you know. Yeah, keeping it true to form, but they already knew that though, so here we go.
I'ma show you who I am unbreakable. I'ma make you understand. Watch me escape it all. The world is in my hands, I am unbreakable. I'ma show you who I am.
Yeah, they don't know their own strength. To go to length to show them all, that's why we came with no restraint. Anywhere we go against it's over with. We pull the boulder out the bottom mold it, and just know that we are not gonna be going quiet. Got it on autopilot, automatic, stuck louder than all your bias. We on top, give you my word, you hold them by it. Hold the rise, letting the army that's behind them remind them that I am
invincible. I'ma show you who I am unbreakable. I'ma make you understand. Watch me escape it all. The world is in my hands, I am unbreakable. I'ma show you who I am.
All I ever do at night, erase my words and then again I write. Ooh, 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 ooh. Drop by drop by drop, drop, drop. I feel the pull and I'm ready to dive. Ooh, 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 ooh. Stand behind the curtains, I try to get a surface. Like an arrow on its way to the sun, a bullet from a gun. Faces find me in the masses, down with my shoelaces. Don't look back at my traces. Faces watch me from the masses, like ice behind the glasses. Right before I make it. All I ever do all day, carve some stones and pave my way. Ooh, 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 ooh. Rock by rock by rock, rock, rock. Design my blueprints, don't make me stop. Ooh, 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 ooh. Stand behind the curtains, I try to get a surface. Like an arrow on its way to the sun, a bullet from a gun. Faces find me in the masses, down with my shoelaces.
정현이가 좀 약간 실리를 생각해서 저희 조에 그 토스를 넣어줬으면.
어느 지역 이동 간에 다 있어요. 드라군이 없는 곳이 없습니다. 물론 돌을 잡고 타고 넘어왔습니다. 와!
정윤종이 8강에 가장 먼저 이름을 올렸습니다.
이번에는 꼭 결승 무대에 설 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다.
레인.
돌풍의 주인공.
인공 싸움에서 뮤탈 차이가 좀 많이 나고 있죠.
컨트롤 능력 보여주면서 이혜윤 선수 8강에 진출했습니다.
저그전이든 테란전이든 체스전이든 누구를 만나도 지지 않는다고 생각을 하고 있어서
삭스리. 개인 리그 안에서는 모두 다 8강 이상을 가는 이런 성적을 보여줬거든요. 자신의 돌풍으로 싹쓸이 해볼 수 있을지.
AfreecaTV ASL Season 8, Round of 8, Match 4. AfreecaTV ASL Season 8, Expansion.
새롭게 쓰여지는
Hello everyone,
왕좌를
welcome to
향하기
ASL Season 8. Today is the last day of the ASL round of 8. And we have Rain going up against Saxtree in today's match. So the winner will grab the last ticket to round 4. So we're gonna have an interview with them.
안녕하세요.
Hello.
네, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
자, 먼저 정윤종 선수
So Rain, you
16강에서
first.
정말 동족전
In round
최강의
16,
모습을
you've shown
뽐내면서
a
또 이렇게
outstanding
8강 경기를
PvP
앞두게
performance.
되셨습니다. 이로써 5시즌 연속
And this is your 5th consecutive round of 8.
계신 소감
How do you
어떠신가요?
feel ahead of today's match?
우선 제가 근데 저그전을
First of all,
방송에서 잘 못해가지고
my PBZ hasn't been
이번에
good.
한번
So this time around,
제대로 보여주겠다
I'm gonna
생각을
try
하고
to overcome that
준비해왔기 때문에
and show the best
네,
performance.
자신 있어요.
또 이번 시즌 돌풍의 주인공
And you
이현 선수와도
have,
좀 인사를 나눠봐야 될 것
created
같은데
a lot of upsets
스타1에서는
this season.
8강 경기를 앞두고 계신 게 처음이에요.
And this is your first time
스테이지가
in the round of 8.
올라올수록 긴장도 더 많이 되실 것 같은데
I'm guessing
정윤종
you're
선수와의
quite
경기
nervous
앞두고
today.
계신 소감 어떠세요?
How do you feel?
일단 확실히 첫 8강이라
certainly, this being my first round of 8,
16강 때보다는 좀 더 많이 했는데
I'm quite nervous, more nervous than round of
준비를
16.
되게 열심히
But I have made thorough
해왔기 때문에
preparation.
제가 일단 게임 생각만 하면
So if I just focus on the game,
겨룰 수 있을
I think I'll be able to show good
두
performance.
선수 모두 오늘 경기 정말 열심히 준비해
And the two players
왔다라는
both
답변을
have commented
해줬는데
that they have
대진에
prepared
대한
really
얘기도
well.
좀 궁금해지네요. 정윤종 선수 개인 리그에서
For Rain,
여전히 좀 좋은 성적 거두고 있지만
You've shown great
중요한
performance
순간
in
또
the
저그에게
individual
발목을
leagues,
잡혔던
but when it
경험이
mattered,
있잖아요.
you're bogged down by a
이현
Zerg.
선수의 대진이 완성됐을
So
때는 좀
after
어떤
your
생각
bracket
드셨나요?
with Saxtree was confirmed, what went through your mind?
사실 그래도 테란전 하는 게 토스 입장에선 더
Well,
편하니까
going up against Terran is easier for Protoss.
약간 기분은 안 좋았는데
So I wasn't
그래도
feeling
이번
good.
기회를 통해서 좀
But
저그전이
with
약한
this,
이미지를
with this chance, I'm gonna
벗어내고 싶어서
try to show
괜찮은 것
myself that I can be
자,
good at
한편 이현
PvZ as
선수
well.
이번 시즌에 24강에서 이영호 선수를
And
상대로
Saxtree,
승리를
you've
거둔 적이
defeated
있고요.
Flash in the round of 24. You've defeated Soulkey in the round of 16.
이 각 종족의 거의
And
최강자라고
you've
불리는
defeated the
선수를
best player
만났었는데
of each race.
8강에서
And in the round of 8, you beat, you're playing against Rain, the Emperor of Protoss.
이거 기회다라는 느낌이 좀
So
드셨나요?
after the bracket was confirmed, what went through your mind?
16강 끝나고
After round
시청할
16,
때 사실
when I saw the group
전에는
nomination,
윤종이를 만나기 싫었는데
I didn't want to go up against Rain.
그냥 막상 붙여주고 나니까
But then after everything was confirmed,
뭔가 편하더라고요. 그냥.
you know, I feel quite
그리고
ease of mind.
또 약간 개인적으로 의미 부여를 하자면은
네.
이제 24강,
Well,
16강에서 테란 1등, 저그 1등
Round of 24, I played
그렇죠.
against the best Terran. In the round of 16, I played against the best Zerg. I think it's about time I play against the best Protoss in the round of 8.
워낙 최근에 이 두 선수의 기세가 정말 좋기 때문에
And the two
많은
players
분들이
have
오늘
been in
경기
great momentum
어떻게
recently.
흘러갈지 좀
So it's
예상하기가
quite,
힘들다라는 평가를
unpredictable
내놓으셨어요. 두
for,
선수는 오늘
today's
경기
match.
좀 몇 대 몇의 스코어로
So
어떻게
how,
흘러갈 것
what do you think
같은지
the score is going to be,
들어보고
Rain?
싶네요. 정윤종 선수 어떠세요?
제가 3대 0 아니면 3대 1로 이길
I
것
feel like I'm going to win 3-0 or 3-1. And that was Rain.
그렇다면 만약에 세트 한 세트를 패배한다면 몇
So,
번째 세트가 될까요?
if you had to lose a single set, which set would it be?
3경기에서 한번 지고
I feel like it
네,
might
이길
be
것
third set, but I'm
3대 0
still going to
혹은
come out on
3대
top
1의
in the end.
스코어를 예상하고 있다. 이혜훈 선수도 좀
What about
한마디
you,
해주셔야 될것
Saxtree? How do you
같은데요.
predict today's score?
저도 그냥 대회 임하기 전에 항상 혼자 그림을 그리는데
Well, I try to simulate a lot
제
of
머릿속에서도
situations before the game,
한 3대0 아니면 3대1로
but I
이기는
feel like
그림이
I'm
나고
gonna win 3-0 or 3-1.
저도 이제 첫 세트가 되게 중요하다고
I think
생각하고
the
있어서
first set
첫
will be really
세트를
instrumental
잡으면은
to
조금
the
더
outcome.
일찍 끝나지
So if I
않을까
do grab the first set, I think it will be an
모두
easy win.
좀 다소 압도적인 스코어를 예상하는 것으로 봐서 오늘 경기
And the two
굉장한
players have
자신감을
made their
가지고 계신 것
predictions,
같은데
both
끝으로
3-0 and
선수의
3-1.
각오를 들어보겠습니다.
Before we
정민정
go,
선수 한마디 해주시죠.
anything you want to say?
우선
Well, first of
이번에
all,
이겨야지 꼭 시드를 받고
I need to win in order to get the seed.
영호랑 또 대회에서 해본 적이 없어요, 스타1에서.
And I have never been able to play against Flash in a tournament before.
준비한 거 꼭 다 보여드리도록
So I'm gonna show everything that I prepare for
네, 이현
and show
선수
the best
한마디
performance.
부탁드립니다.
What about you, Sexury?
저도 이번 시즌 첫 8강인데
This season is my first round of 8.
ASL을 나올 때마다
So every
한
time
단계씩 발전하고
I come to
있다고
ASL,
생각을 해서
I feel like my performance steps up.
이번 시즌에 더욱더 발전된
So this season, I'm gonna show a more
보여드리겠습니다.
improved performance.
네, 오늘 두 선수 좋은 경기 기대하겠습니다.
Once again, thank you guys for the
고맙습니다.
interview.
고맙습니다.
Thank you.
All right, thank you,
오늘
Andy,
ASL
once
시즌
again.
과연
But you
마지막
did mess up that
4강의 주인공은 누가
translation.
될지
Saxry at the
정민정
end said,
선수의
"Happy
경기
belated
지금 바로
birthday,
만나보시죠.
Tasteless."
Wow, thank you for
he was
adding that
explaining
correction
how
there,
he was.
Justice.
Yeah, he was explaining how he was really sad he didn't get to play on your birthday because that's like
Well,
the
it
ultimate
was-
treat for a pro.
It was my birthday, and I wanted Flash, and that's how this whole tournament
That's
works,
true.
right?
That's true.
Yeah. Day, what, 2 now, being 35?
Well, it would be day 3.
Getting old. I'm getting senile, you're right.
Yeah.
Day 2 of casting at 35. No, this is going to be a fun match, although I think, and tell me if you disagree, I think this is going to be a tough one for a Zerg player. Rain is about the scariest Protoss there is in the world. I think he still has the best PVZ. I know he's pretty modest in his interviews, but he's a real killer. I know Mini looked really strong a few months ago, but
Yeah.
Rain really dominating so far in this tournament.
Yeah. I mean, he's Rain. He's the best Protoss in the world, so you expect him to do well here. I do expect him to win. I do think it'll be a 3-1 probably.
Probably.
Because I feel like Saxry's a good enough player that he should be able to scrape together some strong games here.
Tell me if you think I'm incorrect here. I feel as
Oh,
though
you're way wrong.
I feel as though there's a chance that we're going to have 1 or 2 rushes that really work out, some sneaky play to dismantle the Protoss. But I think if Rain can let this last to any kind of mid-game, he should be in good shape. He's pretty damn resilient.
You would think so. I'm not really sure what type of approach Saxry's going to end up taking. But you know what? He's been playing above what people expect him to play at, and he continues to improve. So I'm just kind of excited to see what he can pull out against Rain. Of course, if you look at this tournament so far, we have had some crazy upsets, right?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Actions in the round of 4. Why can't Saxry be in the round of 4?
I don't see him taking this. I feel like out of all the matches we had, this is the easiest one to call. It's simply because Rain has been such a monster in StarCraft 1 in the last few years here. But let's see. Yeah. I'm always open to the idea of an upset. I mean, we need to have those kind of upsets in order to keep this game interesting. But
this is Flash's last tournament before the military. And if you recall, like, I think it was ASL Season 2, we were literally talking about, oh my god, imagine if Rain and Flash played. And it hasn't happened yet, so we need it to happen.
This is the dream situation. And the chance of Snow actually getting to the finals as well, which would be a crazy rematch of already one of the best PVTs that ever happened.
Yeah.
But Saxry's a player who's been steadily improving. I don't want to take away anything from this guy. It's just that he's so overshadowed by the other 2 players who are still left in this bracket, both Flash and Rain.
Yeah, he really, really is. Even on the other side, Snow is overshadowing him a little bit as well.
And Action's been dominating as a Zerg player for a little bit longer here than Saxry.
Well, I think he and Action and Saxry are kind of the big underdogs that are in this tournament, going from the round of 8. Everyone else kind of looked like they kind of belonged, and then those 2, it's like, oh, I don't know, maybe you guys have been coming up. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of interested to see what Rain does, because his more recent PVZs that we've seen have been very interesting ones, like Hidden Robo DT Drop, Proxy Gate, stuff like that. Like 1 Proxy Gate with 1 Gate Expand. Yeah, he mixes it up a fair amount in this matchup. He's definitely has some interesting builds.
He's very good at controlling the Zerg and leading the Zerg into exactly the kind of game he wants to play. And I think you're right. He's definitely got a wide range, of play styles. We're going to start this off on the map Overwatch. And this is the second player who picked Imagine Dragons Believer for a song.
Yeah.
I believe it was Light in our last ASL broadcast had the song as well.
Yeah, maybe. Which one is the band name, Believer or Imagine Dragons? Probably Imagine
You are
Dragons,
so
right?
not cool, all right? You don't know this. Imagine Dragons is like such a mainstream band. Yes, Imagine Dragons is the name.
How would I know that, though?
This is why I'm here. I am the cool one out of the two of us, Sartosis.
There's no question that you're the cool one.
I am the cool one.
Everyone's always known that
Let me tell you
forever.
something. You don't have to be very cool at all to know Imagine Dragons, okay? They're pretty ubiquitous. Now, which one is the song and which one is the name of the band, Artosis?
Well, if I just copy the first thing, probably Banners is the name of the band. So I just copy the pattern, but I would not have known, actually. Tasus, here's the thing. That song was neither Terran Theme 1, 2, or 3.
This is true. So
Okay,
how would
so
you know it, right?
How the hell would I know who's doing what with that song, okay?
We might have gotten lucky if it was a Final Fantasy song or a Tetris theme song that you might have caught it.
That could have been Einstein's Fifth Symphony. I don't know, man. Who cares?
Einstein's. Okay, we're ready. Game 1 is up. Rain vs. Axery starts now.
Now playing in Overwatch.
So we got Rain down there in the bottom right and Saxry in the top left.
So we want to watch and see when the pool or hatch is placed right away, as well as is this going to be a one gate opening or a forge opening. I don't think it's going to be proxy gates, but it could be just on this map, but you normally have a probe sent out right around now.
He's not sending out a probe.
All right, one down.
One down.
Tick that box off as one of the ones we're not going to have. Zergs have seemed to have liked overpull, but there are different routes you could take here. Overpull basically preempts any kind of weird cannon rush. It allows you to get your hatch up in time.
Look at that, by the way. These are the top 3 Protosses in ASL, with Bisu actually at the highest win percentage, but Rain with the most wins overall.
Bisu's close to coming back now after finishing his military service.
He is done military service. It's starting to pop up VODs of him. I believe he started streaming again. I'm not sure. Someone say that, but I actually didn't really super look into it. Been kind of busy this week, but yeah, that's going to be very exciting to see Bisu re-enter the tournament scene. That's like amazing.
Oh, hello, Neil. Is it Protoss OP? Oh, and Uncle. Somebody's uncle got a shout out.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so this is actually pretty cool. So he's
Nexus first.
There's a lot of different variations of these builds that get you into the same spot. This is one where he halts probes at 11.
Yeah, look at that.
Or earlier we have seen him do it where he halts probes at 13. But this is a cool build.
Isn't the 13 where you go Forge Nexus?
Yeah, that can be if you haven't found him yet. Like you're on a 4-player map. This might be a different build on a 1-on-1 map.
Yeah, because I've seen that 13, cutting probes at 13 really, really often. Wild Shamtu spotted. But yeah, the Nexus first, this is something that I really love about Rain. That he comes in with very different builds than most players.
Yeah.
And
no. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Artosis.
Well, I was just going to talk about a little bit why we can see things like this from him and Flash. One thing that I've noticed, like Rain has talked about it for a long time, how one of his main practice partners is the computer. Like he just grinds out builds and stuff like that. Like when people say that they play the computer, they're not talking trash. It's actually something that a few players do, where probably every player does it to some small extent, but I think Rain and Flash spend a lot of time in single player, basically getting their builds perfect and timing things out.
Basically, they're not actually really playing against a computer. They're actually just practicing a build out on an empty board, and then seeing, okay, so this feels like it has this kind of timing, and you can math that out. You can do a Zerg build test out on the timings for that, and then
you can just be like, okay, on a 9 pull, when do they get there? On an over pull, when do they get there? You can just like write these times down. It's not hard to test these builds like this.
And so this was actually a very quick Nexus and a quick Forge here. Now you don't get as many probes mining right away, but one advantage about whether it's the Nexus on 13 or Nexus on 11 is that the second Nexus also gets to play the role of another pylon.
Yeah, that's true.
So you actually save a little bit there. Now it can get a little bit claustrophobic over at Sure Natural as you're putting everything over there, but you are getting to tech right away.
It's very cool how quickly this build comes together. Like, he's already getting his +1 here as well. Looks like an excellent build order. Very exciting stuff. You know, this is part of the reason I think why he is such a high-level player, is because he just comes with stuff like this. And again, I mentioned some of those other builds that we saw from him against Zerg, like the hidden Robo DT drop and things like that. He just comes in, and it's hard to prepare, right? How do you prepare for this?
Yeah, all the timings are a little bit off. By the way, that is a Citadel.
It's awesome.
But before Stargate, I was actually going to say that you're pretty much always going to expect a Stargate, but immediately he throws this down. Now, again, the timings of all this stuff get a little bit funny. It's not just about, you know, how is the Protoss going to macro up, but what exact attack is going to come out and at what time will that be? Because the Zerg is, of course, in this balancing act of trying to control the right number of drones versus attacking units. But we still don't have a Stargate yet. And we might have a very quick Templar Archives come down here. I'm not totally sure.
That's a hilarious Dragoon, by the way. Just the fact that he gets a Dragoon out and kills the Overlord immediately, and now he has a single Zealot across the map that just got a drone kill. I feel like Saxry doesn't, like, how do you know what's going on in this situation? He's like bringing out something you never see, and it's working beautifully. Oh my God.
He got another drone.
That's just wild.
Okay, I need to get a shot of the main here. All right, so this is actually the opening part of this is a little bit different, but the idea is actually kind of old. It's a Zealot burst out build. Notice he's not mining from his second gas. Rain is not. He's actually taken it, but he's not. He has no probes mining from it at all.
He mined from it for a little tiny bit of time.
That's because the Overlord was there, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And so now he's pulled all those workers off, and so he's going to come out with an abnormal number of Zealots. But this doesn't always work out. Protoss is not in a great spot if this attack doesn't do a lot of damage. The thing is, I think it will do a lot of damage.
Yes. It's going to be +1 speed lots off 4 gates. I remember seeing a build like this on Shin Peaks Big do a long time ago from Daejong. You remember that Protoss? And I loved it. It wasn't the same build, but it was very quick 4-gate speed law, and it almost looks like Vulture Harass. Like, they run around so quickly, and it's so hard for Zerg to actually deal with that with such a small amount of units.
And Rain's really going out of his way to disguise this. If you notice, the second cannon being made is not necessary at all. That is simply to make it seem like this might be maybe a DT coming out. Okay, now the Zealots are going to streamline out. Now remember, it's going to be 4 Zealots at a time coming out here.
Yeah.
So if you keep a lot of those Zealots alive in the first attack, this can start to snowball.
Yeah.
Now, Zerg has turtled up pretty well, but I don't see any Sunken Colonies yet. And really, you need Sunken Colonies that are well defended with drone drills to be okay against this. So this is about to pick up. And I'm not totally sure that Saxry is going to be ready for this.
No, I don't think he is. Rain is just pummeling in here right now. That Sunken going to go down easily.
No more Hydras are going to come around the corner over here. Shot down immediately. Now again, the Zealots are going to be rallying forward here. You want to try to keep as many of these Zealots alive as possible. The last few Dragoons go down. Now Zerg is barely hanging on.
Oh, look at this. He might be hitting another base now. A DT coming up. There is an Overlord there at the 3rd base, so can't really do much with it right there. Maybe he can slip it somewhere while the Zealots are doing work, though?
The Zealots are in some ways at a huge disadvantage here because you can get drone drilled, and you're against ranged Hydras. I mean, fortunately, there's no Sunken Colony here. This would just be a straight-up hold, no problem. Now, I imagine that behind this, we've seen some teching up. Yep, there's the Templar Archives. Some more cannons are coming down because there really is a real risk of a counterattack here from the Zerg with the Hydras.
Totally. But, you know, it's such an interesting build for me because I'm looking at this and, you know, he's put on so much pressure. Saxry's held it with Hydras, but he's almost put on so much pressure that, like, can't even go mutas, right? Which would normally be the thing that would be really good against no Stargate or Stargate.
Yes. But time will tell. Time will tell. I mean, a large number of Hydras on their own is pretty good. I mean, remember that Storms are, if done correctly, a dodgeable thing here. I love how he's put these Zealots in between this, by the way, just to catch drones.
Excellent. Gets another drone kill right there, just about for free. A lot of Zealots coming in. Oh, he's going to turn around. Doesn't want to deal with that right now. Good micro here from Saxry.
And I believe we're just going to see a lot more gateways come down here. Again, with no Stargate tech, let's not forget, you mentioned that you can't really make mutas when you have this much pressure, but later on, if he does make mutas, that's going to be a really easy way to engage the Templars. If you snipe all those Templars, the Hydras will usually win. And the Stargate sometimes can seem like it's part of some kind of scouter cheese, but actually just having the tech there throughout the whole game answers a lot of possible problems later on. So, you know, Rain was cutting some corners here, and his strategy didn't exactly work. Hasn't totally failed either, but...
Oh, he's coming up right now with his High Templars now. I think he's going to be able to bust this base easily. He's flanking from both sides, which will keep the Hydras kind of stuck, and my god, that Storm was good.
He had to have some sunken colonies here.
Yeah.
You need some static defense, and again, beautifully done there. And I think he kept the rest of those Hydras from reinforcing. This is such a beautiful build here by Rain.
It's beautifully done.
And frankly, losing this is usually almost a guaranteed loss in the game now. I mean, there's not a real way to try to recover here. He might even send that DT into the main now. In fact, I think we're just going to see GG.
Yeah. It seems just about impossible for him to do anything. It looks like a small counterattack coming in. Even if it could beat the Zealots, there's enough cannons here that it does not feel scary at all.
Right. Now the
my
DT is
God.
destroying the main. And again, this is why Rain is the scariest Protoss in the world. Already an Observer's popping out at the last second. I mean, Rain has dominated so hard this game.
It's pretty crazy.
And even though the initial rush didn't work, GG, I think that Rain having the rest of his Zealots in the way so that the Hydras couldn't reinforce, and Saxry, I think, not truly respecting the pressure that it was on, you need to have 1 or 2 sunken colonies up there, and you need to turtle that area off really well. You just... Protoss is, if you only have Zealots, and there's enough of a wall that you really just can't breach that area, a lot of times Protosses just have to back up.
Yeah.
But if it's just Hydras walled off, then the Storms just, it's not a big area. 2 Storms kill all the workers and all the Hydras inside of there.
Okay, here's a quick question for you.
Please.
The next map is Ground Zero. It is another standard map. Is there any possibility it uses the same build, having Smash Saxry with it already?
I'm asking myself the same question, and I'm going to have to wait and see.
Like, what is his level of confidence in this being repeatable with this build, or is this a one-off?
I don't know. We're going to find out, though. I think it might be, that build might be based if it's a one-on-one map or a 4-player map. But we'll see. We'll see. Short break, guys. When we come back, Game 2, Rain vs. Saxry.
재미가 없으면 원래 TV가 아니지.
Look at these incredible animals, Mia. Do you have any idea how lucky you are to live here?
I don't want to live here.
We've only been here a month. She just needs time.
A white lion born on our farm.
What do I care about some dumb cover?
I don't need a friend.
Give my ball back. You're lucky. He likes you.
when I'm away from you.
It's not this place. It's your home.
Do you know the line that I'd walk?
For the first time we've been here, she's happy.
A wild animal's a wild animal. That lion stays in its pen.
You can come in if you want.
Mia! Get out of here right now!
I can't believe you placed your brother's life in danger.
He has to go.
Please, I'll do anything.
Mia, it's over. It's going to be sold to the first buyer I can find.
I'm going to get you to Tourism. Let's go, boy. And then you'll be free.
Mia's gone.
I'm going to find her.
Charlie's my best friend. I just couldn't let him go. I love you, Charlie.
(100년) 전 우리의 영화가 관객 앞에 선보였습니다. 인간의 변화와 삶을 담기 시작했고 소리와 그 소리의 의미를 담았고 우리의 삶에 색깔을 입혔습니다. (100년은) 사람의 눈으로 사람을 담았습니다. 우리는 과거의 100년을 지나 미래의 100년으로 향합니다.
영화라는 체험, 그 100년의 시간.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here at the ASL, and so far the results are not too shocking. Rain completely smashing in game one, but I'm hoping we're going to see some closer games here.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, he deflected it first and then just didn't really know what to do. I think that a big test now is what Rain decides to do in this next map. Like, does he go to complete standard play? Does he have something else that Saxry's never seen?
Well, let's point out that is a very cheesy, unusual build to open up with. It's not within the area of like, okay, this is a safe build you can do every time on ladder. It's something that Zergs are almost always banking on a Stargate being put down here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, Stargates are the direction of it.
It's like 95+% of games, I would say.
Yeah, pretty much. But it gives you a lot of pressure early on, and I think that was the kind of game Saxry was not interested in playing. But I think if he makes a few adjustments, he would have done a lot better in that game. And again, some of this could be nerves. I mean, Rain is one of the scariest pro gamers of all time. So let's see how he does in game number 2 on the map, Ground Zero.
All right, 4-player map, but very standard. A lot of this map pool has some weird maps in it, but Ground Zero is about as normal as you can really get. So, I mean, I would guess that this is going to be a more normal game from Rain, right?
I think
you can't
so.
Scout him right away. You kind of have to play carefully.
Should be some Stargate builds here. Also, a lot of that build in game 1 seemed to be hinged on punishing a third base. He just had a setup to really come in there and hit hard. Both of our players have now joined the lobby. Again, this is a best of 5, and the winner here is going up against the greatest gamer of all time in the Final Four, going up against Flash.
Yeah.
So high stakes, high pressure. Our game is ready. Let's go.
Fight!
Now playing in Neo Ground Zero.
So we have horizontal spawns, the Rain in the top left, and Saxry in the top right.
So we were talking about game 1 and Rain doing this cool build of halting probe production at 11, and then getting a Nexus and getting a Forge. Let's see if he does something similar here in this game as well.
That would be very interesting if he does. I'm assuming he won't. He might be gateway time. What do you think, Tay?
I think gateway openings are quite good, especially with Rain. I think he might be the best at this type of build as well. I think him and Mini, actually.
Well,
and usually if you see the probe sent back, that can mean gateway timing.
Yeah, it almost always means gateway, but last time it did mean the Nexus first. But normally if it's Forge, you do send the probe out.
Yeah.
Scout. Why is that exactly? I noticed the pattern, but hell if I know.
Well, you want to send the probe out if you're going Forge because you need to confirm if you actually need the cannons, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then if there's, if let's say that you see links coming, then you can, if you need to, send your own probes down, you know?
It's a Nexus first again.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
And it's on 11, it looks like, right? Yeah, he's holding.
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
He'll probably hold probes.
Let's see if he because he might go 13 still.
If he goes 13 Nexus first, that's crazy. Oh my God, Saxtry's actually going hatch first, so if he goes 13 Nexus first, it's the greatest counter ever done.
Now, I don't...
That's just
yeah, this is just crazy, so he just went Nexus on 11 right away.
So this is his build, I guess.
Now, I don't know what the decision-making is on a map like this, if he just looks at this and says, well, I'm going to just go ahead and play this way, because as long as he doesn't do a Ling Rush to me, I'm pretty much going to get a steady lead here.
Yeah, well... I mean, it's throwing Saxtry off because Rain is prepared with this and probably knows the ins and outs of it quite well and has put a lot of thought into it, whereas Saxtry is seeing it for the first time. If it's that same Zealot build especially, right?
Yeah, what if he does this over and over again? That would be something, really.
Yeah, I don't think it works on every single map that we have here. Like, for instance, Tripod, who knows what we're going to see there. But,
well, I think a lot of this, you know, if it is that mass gateway build, I think it would depend on the structure of the third base. What buildings are there to block? So with this, you ebb out probes one by one. And again, the Nexus finishes right around when you're at 17 supply. And so the Nexus basically becomes like a big pylon here. And this is a way for you to cut corners. In a lot of the really old builds for Fast Expand, it was like players just continuously making probes because almost all StarCraft builds involved you making workers incrementing out constantly, and you're trying to just get other buildings along the way. But these builds have become so fine-tuned now that good players will completely stop production and then start it back up again later on.
Yeah, and actually, here's a tip for people. If you're listening to this, then this applies to you. Just make your probes or SCVs nonstop. Don't try to do cutting builds because you don't understand how it works. It's actually very complicated. It's better because the people that you're playing against are not professional gamers. Just if you nail your macro, that's going to be the most worthwhile thing for you. Even though these builds look cool, people will cut a probe and be like, yeah, no, I'm doing this build, and then they have like 4 less probes than Rain, and it's like, oh, now it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's you basically also have to have your entire decision tree set up ahead of time. For what you're going to do and where, because he's looking at this and seeing small tells in what the Zerg's getting. By the way, that was a Hydra Den right away.
That was a quick Hydra Den.
That's a fast Hydra Den.
This looks like it's going to be a Hydra, 3-hatch Hydra attack.
So I was looking at this earlier today, and I believe it's 9 drones in the main, 7 at the natural, and then 3.
Yes.
Or if you see 1, or if you see 6 in the natural, and then 1 at the...
No, I think that's what it's called, is a 973, and the Koreans call it that, I believe.
But if you have
I've seen that notation before.
And so, this is going to be a little bit scary. Now, Rain hasn't completely confirmed that probe died in the main, so that it doesn't tell you a ton seeing that.
Yeah,
there's a Stargate coming, by the way, so this isn't the same build that we had in Game 1, which is sort of what we expected to have happen, but Ortosis and I were both asking ourselves, what if this is a little bit different here?
he sees the den. That's
now,
a big deal.
If we get a shot of the natural here. Now, a lot of times you want to cut everything that's being produced.
Yeah.
Obviously not like an upgrade or something like that, but you know, you want to get some cannons thrown down right away. And a lot of times when the Protoss is being hit hard, you're just making a lot of cannons, and behind this you're making DTs. Try to counterattack them with.
Yeah. Looks like one Overlord is sitting here to help out if a DT does pop. He's getting the +1, so be interested to see if...
Can you try to shave off the gate here?
When you get range, you could, right?
Because sometimes Zergs will do this build where they come out and they just want to scare you into making a lot of cannons and hit the gateway. And ideally the Forge. If they get the Forge, it's a real problem.
Yeah, the Forge is a great get. So it looks like he can set up for the gateway right away.
Okay, this many Hydras.
Beautiful. He's not even taking a single cannon shot. Really, really precise here from Saxry. It's actually harder than it seems.
Yeah. Well, cannons do a lot of damage here, but they also die very fast, so...
They have a deceivingly large range as well.
And there should be a second gateway being made in the main here.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, so the Corsair kind of scouting around, sees just ridiculous amounts of Hydras being created. Some drones being added at the third, though, now.
Yeah, it seems like Zerg is starting to dial this back a little bit here.
Look at that, Probe's waiting as well. Ooh, is he going to get that +1 finished?
Yeah, I think he might. It should be pretty close, but he should get it.
Feels like it's been going for a bit.
Nope. Well, he
just
canceled it, or he canceled it.
Wait.
No, because you get the minerals back if it's upgrading and you kill it anyways, so.
Oh, he didn't get it.
Yeah.
Ouch.
All right, here we go.
Cancel.
So he's doing some good kiting here. Now the thing is, the Zealots need to stay just in the front. They need to do enough of a deterrent. They need to get away enough that the cannons are not taking any damage. We've got that layer coming down here as well, by the way.
So a situation like this, you were going for +1, it got canceled, unfortunately you lost your gateway, you had to make a bunch of cannons. What are you actually looking to do in this type of situation? Because he didn't die, he didn't lose probes, so obviously his economy's pretty good, but what's like the actual follow-up strategically?
Well, I think that, you know, Zerg made some sacrifices of their own back there, right? Yeah. You know, you halted a certain number of drone production. It wasn't the craziest thing, but I think you actually just go back and get a Forge and continue on with the game. You know, just keep trying to do what you were doing because you've been making probes the entire time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have a real economy behind this, even if you lost a gateway and lost that Forge, which is too bad. It would seem like, though, the Zerg can just get strong, like get the armor upgrade right away and then always be ahead of you in fights.
Here's another question.
Yeah.
I see Rain doing something that looks to me like tinkering with his build. Oh my god, beautiful run out with these Zealots.
Yep.
Look at that.
This is what happens if the Zerg
awesome.
isn't watching right away, is the Zealots can surround the back end of the Hydras.
But he had +1 going in his Cybernex core, and then he actually canceled it, and now he's restarted it. What's that all about?
It might be, are we sure it was +1? It might be Dragoon range he's getting instead.
You think? Wow.
Yeah, I don't think...
That would be interesting. Like, would you go into Zealot Dragoon? Wouldn't you go High Templar before the Dragoons and fill in afterwards the Dragoons?
Yeah, but he's got a decent number of gateways up, so a lot of times you're just trying to fill in all these other upgrades.
Oh, okay.
Because you know you're going to have to get that eventually.
Oh, so you just kind of get it because you have the money and it takes a while?
Yeah, and even... Okay, hold on. He's actually done some pretty good footwork here. And he's actually gotten this army to where it's not quite positioned correctly here. Now, Saxry is sending a lot of Hydras down here. This is going to box in a lot of these Zealots. I mean, these are Zealots that are being given away now. It's okay to trade Hydras for Zealots as long as you're keeping most of your drones alive.
Losing a few drones here and there. Looks like Rain's starting to focus on those drones a little bit more. Drill does go through. Looks like he's going to save those. Very nicely done. Going after these drones on gas now. Oh, gets one of them.
Yeah, this is getting worse for Rain. So we're going to have a good number of gateways. What is that? That's 8 total up there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's just getting the rest of his upgrades. You know, he's gotten the Zealot legs, he's gotten Storm, he's probably gotten the Amulet for the Templars. And he's going to just start to try to come out and pick some fights.
8 gates is like the exact right amount for 2 bases, right? If you're not planning on making your 3rd Nexus anytime soon?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe that's the case. So this is like a very dedicated attack.
I mean, he didn't lose any probes, right? So this is pretty nice.
I like that, by the way.
Well, the DT can actually kill the egg pretty quickly, so it looks like he'll get in there that way. Now, he might be able to surround this other lurker over here that's going to be coming out. That would actually be pretty huge.
Doesn't have a robo as of yet, I believe.
He does.
Oh, he does?
I don't know if he has observers out.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great storms. This is a really easy spot for Protoss to fight from with the Templars because this bottlenecks the Hydras that are coming through here.
Yeah, not the best storm right there. Looks like he is going to end up losing everything that's in here. Was this a worthwhile attack by Rain, losing all these high Templars?
He got a lot of drones that were leaving.
Yeah.
The problem is that Zerg already has a lot of momentum. I think the question is, if he attacks it again, will he be able to get there before Lurkers are a threat?
Yeah.
Because, you know, Lurkers positioned really well will completely destroy Zealots that are coming in a line. Especially when the Zerg's turtled up.
Yeah.
So I think it's paramount that he actually gets in the way. Oh, that's so cute.
I like that. Hold position over the Lurker egg.
Yeah, I didn't quite see it at first, but yeah. Having that there is going to bounce those Zealots off pretty easily.
Yeah, that's a really cool move. I love stuff like that. Looks like Rain is preparing to take his third base now. Still does have a pretty sizable army. It doesn't really feel like he can get too much more damage done, though.
He's going to try, though. I mean, I think you're right, Artosis. I think it's unlikely, but he can kind of treat these Zealots a little bit like they're speed vultures. But the thing is, you know, a lot of times if the Zerg is just very good at defending all angles, basically, can deny.
He should lay mines before he sends them in, though. That's like one thing you learn right away.
Well, this is a pretty good attack. Now, keep in mind, he can even go into the natural here. Sometimes you end up with the Zergs turtling off with Lurker eggs everywhere, and then this is actually where they end up attacking in. Now, Zerg needs to shoot down this one observer because that's the easiest there is. That's the easiest way to stay into this game.
Well, he doesn't have any Lurkers here right now, so these Zealots are really being worth their weight in gold. Look at this, just massacring everything.
What? Killing all the probes in the main.
Oh my god. Look at that.
Now keep in mind, Storm is quite good against Lurker eggs as well. So there you go. He goes in there and takes that out. And you know what? Even though that observer was shot down, I think Rain has actually breached the main here. And even if this is held off, which it might be, then you have a problem of Zealots then attacking into the other location. He's going to go for the layer. Now this might look funny, but if he gets rid of that layer, that interrupts a lot of tech. GG, that's it.
Just GG's, even after getting 21 probes in the main.
Yeah, he basically was barely torn at the seams before that attack happened. And because of that, he was able to get in there and do so much damage.
Yeah.
Again, Zerg had both of the two expansions covered, most likely with Lurker eggs blocking, but the natural was the location that was neglected. And so he just tears through there, even though the observer was sniped.
That was a good call right there.
Yeah.
Because it felt like everywhere was turtled, everywhere was trying. You know, the third base, the fourth base both looked so well defended, and then it's like just pure Hydra sitting near the natural.
Yeah.
Poor Saxry, man.
Well, this is scary. Where's my phone? How long have we been live for? Hold on. Okay.
This is my favorite part of Quick Days, is where Tasis wonders where his phone is to see how long this has been.
Well, no, because this is like, I don't even feel warmed up, to be honest.
Yeah. Saxry doesn't either.
It's been under 45 minutes, and we've had commercials, intros, and of course games here as well. Right now, Rain is just looking too fast,
smashing,
too strong.
Man. It's crazy how good he looks.
It's crazy. I don't know if we're going to have a late game PvZ. I hope we will.
I'm getting a little bit wiggly waiting for a week from today.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I guess ASL's schedule's moving a little bit because of GSL versus the World.
No, we're Tuesday,
Wednesday next week.
So a week.
It'll be a week and 1 day because it'll be the second match.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
okay,
but
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right now, it's really looking like Rain's going to advance, which means we finally get Rain versus Flash, which is...
I'm assuming he's advancing. I already...
Well, if you 3-0 from now with Saxry...
Yeah, well, that's...
Something's wrong.
Something got weird.
Or something's very right. So right.
Look, he is smashing him so hard. Like, he's making this look really easy. He's making PvZ look very simple.
Yeah.
Like, you just get enough infantry units, come out, run them over.
Well, this is going to help you perfectly then.
That's what I need. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, our game number 3. Don't go away.
You're always who I end up running to. We saw each other's different points of view. I'm always coming back to you.
아들아, 너는 계획이 다 있구나. 그 집 사모님이 뭐랄까.
지금 진짜로 이상한 게 뭔 것 같아?
아버지, 계획이 뭐예요?
네, 오늘 소개해드릴 곡은 여성 보컬의 목소리가 아주 매력적인 노래입니다. ASL 시즌 8 클로징에 쓰인 페리스의 데스 오브 미라는 곡인데요. 페리스는 2012년 결성된 미국 출신의 3인조 혼성 밴드로 데뷔 앨범이었던 화이트 노이즈가 빌보드 얼터너티브 앨범 차트 4위에 오르면서 일약 스타덤에 올랐고요. 작년에는 한국에 방문해서 공연을 펼치기도 했죠. 데스 오브 미는 다양한 장르가 섞인 구성에도 린제이의 목소리에 집중하여 편히 듣기 좋은 신스팝 스타일의 곡입니다. 그럼 매력적인 린제이의 보컬 함께 감상해 볼까요? 목소리가 참 매력적이죠. 저도 자신만의 색깔이 있는 보컬이 되고 싶습니다.
저희는 다음에도 더욱더 좋은 ASL BGM과 함께 돌아오겠습니다. 다음에 다시 만나요.
안녕!
AfreecaTV ASL Season 8 Expansion.
All right, we're back, and it's time to go to Game 3 in this possibly very short night.
Feels like a ZVZ set right now.
Do you think we're going to see a Spire before this is over?
There's not going to be any Spires. None of that garbage.
Wow.
Sylphid's our next map. You know what this map's? What's great on this map? Whatever Rain has planned for it.
Yeah. He's making this look so easy. I feel like it's hard to unpack this matchup. You know. He's hitting
well, he came
every
so
note.
well prepared. He came so well prepared. He's another level, just like we've been seeing in his PvP for so long now. I mean, I know Bisu's back and everyone's excited, but is he going to be able to take the throne from Rain?
Well, Rain is just rolling through here, and we're already going into Game 3. Rain versus Saxray continues on right now. Rain with a 2-0 lead.
Now playing in Neo's Sylphid.
So we have Rain in the bottom left. And Saxray shaking in his boots in the bottom right.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything that can help Saxray right now. I feel like if we gave him a map pack and he saw a vision of everything that Rain was doing, he would die like all the bad guys in Raiders of the Lost Ark when they actually looked at what was inside of it.
I was wondering where you're going to go with that.
Yeah.
I thought you were just going to be like, yeah, Rain would still beat him. Like, no,
Taze
no, he
would
wouldn't.
be there like
Tasteless.
Indiana Jones with his eyes closed, telling him not to look at it. Just don't look at what Rain's doing.
Yeah. I'm like, but Tasteless, think of the power you'd have if you copy this build. And you're like, don't open your eyes! Oh, God. Well, this game looks like a Forge expand from Rain. I think he's primed Saxray in such a way that you can't predict what Saxray's going to do this game. So I think that this is a very smart continuation.
Rain is opening up with the gateway pressure.
Oh,
build.
I thought he sent the probe out. mine's just sitting there, so. Still, going to be a lot safer than what he's, or presumably safer than what he's been doing.
And so the gateway, one gate opening build is pretty strong. It allows you to be quite active and be part of the decision-making process for the Zerg. A lot of times, you know, it's very different compared to Forge openings, which are a lot more about having your own balancing act to counter their build.
Yeah.
Where you are both safe and still getting tech and economy. Did the probe get the first hit there?
I
guess
believe
not.
it did. Drones are tough, though. They're beefy.
So, when you do this build, one of the great things, if they go for overpool, is that you've immediately planted a pylon, you're interrupting where their hatchery is, and the slow drip of zealots goes out onto the map, and you know, it puts Zerg on the defense.
Yeah, the bases are really quite far away, so it's a little bit difficult for the Zerg to be in the right place. Feels like you have to make a lot of Zerglings against this. So Rain just keeping that probe alive for the moment. Zealot is popping out just now. It's going to be sent across the map. Of course, he did cancel that pylon, no reason to keep it alive.
So, from here, the Zerg has to have the right number of Lings. Too little, and the Zealots will not only beat up on the Lings, but kill the drones as well. Too many Lings, and the Protoss will get an expansion up and hold this off. Now, that being said, if the Protoss screws up and loses one or two of the Zealots early on, it's really easy for the Zerg to flip the game. That's why this is generally considered one of the trickier builds to do, especially if you're a new player, because you're having to be active in all parts of the map at once.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the Lings are supposed to beat you on paper. And there it is. There's almost a surround. Good save there.
Yeah, very good micro there by Rain. His probe has been doing some work getting damage on some of these Zerglings so that he can two-shot them.
Now note, every time the Lings run away, the pressure continues on here. The Forge is going to come later. One thing about the build that Zerg did here is that Zergling speed is still a ways out. In fact, I think gas mining just started here for Saxory. So locations like behind the minerals are good spots to put your Zealot because the Lings don't get a favorable fight there.
Looks like some pretty decent micro from Saxory there. See what Rain does, but
okay, now
gonna run by with some Lings.
This is a little bit of a problem here. You're supposed to have this area clogged up so that they just can't get through. But he did win this fight over here. Oh, I'm sorry. The Lings were just not where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, that's weird.
I was going to say, how did he kill 3 Lings?
What is going on?
I think Saxory's actually just panicking.
He might be. Losing that drone, very painful.
They're both trying to out-micro each other on multiple fronts.
Yeah, quite hard.
Oh, he must have not ever scouted where the third base was. He sent that Zealot to the wrong location.
Okay.
I guess that makes sense to check there.
Yeah, it's got a gas, and it's up a hill, so you can kind of turtle it more easily. That mineral-only base, I guess it's closer for rallying if you're going to get aggressive or something, but not as easy to turtle for sure.
More Lings coming out. Looks like we just now have Ling speed finishing.
Look at that, the pressure. He just always has enough Zealots that he can really put that pressure on.
Well, you know, one of the things that he's so good at in this game is knowing when to hit the Lings versus when to hit the drones. A lot of other players seem to want to just run into the drones, kind of kamikaze into them. Whereas, oh, okay, so it's going to be a Hydra in behind this.
Can't blame him.
The problem is that if there's any ambiguity for the Protoss, you just keep throwing Zealots out. Now, speed Lings can actually catch the Zealots and kill them. Because the Zealots are not just pressuring, they're sort of doing scouting for you because Zerg has to use what they have. There's barely any drones behind this. So we're seeing drones at that third, but I think in the natural there's actually literally none.
Yeah, you might be right about that. Definitely very low econ here from Saxory.
Yeah, there's just now one being sent over there.
That. Okay. Rain, though, no longer has any presence on the map, so it feels like, is he going to do a very middle-of-the-road type of defense here, where he just throws up 2 cannons and tries to get the Courser out? So I feel like there's a decent chance he could die if that's the case.
I think that is what he's going to do, Artosis.
Yeah.
You know, you see the Ling speed, you're kind of anticipating that coming, but the Ling speed really nicely cancels out the option for Zealots to easily scout. And you can see he doesn't know what's coming because he has one cannon being made in his main in case it's going to be mutas or something like that. There was no layer, right?
No, no layer.
Okay.
Okay, he sees the Hydras. He knows what's going on. He has to throw down more cannons right now.
And
where are those cannons? I want to see how many cannons he's making. Just one drone at the natural.
Okay, there's 2 more coming down here. But this might be just not enough in time here.
Oh my god.
And he needs to have a location where he can actually probe drill here.
Yeah, I think the Corsair is probably giving him vision, so the probes are coming out, but one cannon goes down. The second one going to go down as well.
Okay, we don't have any cannons finished right now.
Yeah.
The Zealots are uncomfortably planted at the top here.
But the probe's doing real work right now. Look at this. And now the Zealot coming around with his probe bros.
Okay, but more Lings coming. I don't know if he's able to get any of these. Oh, hold on. Okay, so he has to make sure his probes are still out here in the front. He cannot give these Zerglings surface area. Now, he went for the forge for a little bit, and then he decided to come back and just dive on the cannons. Pretty good control so far here by Rain.
Oh, my God. Look at that probe block.
He's just so good.
He's pretty good.
I just don't know what to say. This is just incredible. I like Saxery's idea of switching between Hydras and then back to Lings, then to Hydras.
Yeah.
Because he thought, okay, maybe I've got enough of an opening here, and maybe the Speedlings can come in here. But look at this blocking.
Oh,
he's just not going to let this happen. He's just not going to have a single Ling going. GG.
Absurd. What is going on? This was quicker than a ZVZ night. It's not even an hour.
This is now the shortest matchup in the game. Okay.
It's 7:57.
Wow.
Thanks for coming down to the studio today, guys.
Yeah. Shortest. One of the shortest, right? What is our actual shortest day? Was it like 35
It was that day
minutes?
the guy didn't show up and we played like two or three games. Yeah. That was the shortest day.
What do you want to bet they're going to make a spill for extra time after this interview, Artosis?
I want it.
Call it a hunch.
Gimme.
By the way, just Protoss completely outclassing Zerg there. Didn't matter what Zerg tried.
Well, Rain is the best Protoss in the world at the moment.
Okay.
A dual champion and now in the round of 4.
Interview time. Andy will be translating what Rain's thoughts are. Let's go to that now.
ASL 시즌
Rain secures his spot in the round of 4 after winning 3 games against
완벽한 경기력 보여준
Saxery.
정현정 선수 만나보겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
Congratulations, Rain. Thank you.
경기 전 인터뷰에 자신 있던 그 모습
In the
그대로
interview,
경기에서
you've shown
나왔습니다.
a full confidence going into today's tonight's match, and you won. How do you feel?
제가 잘한 건지 상대가 못한 건지
Well, I'm not sure if I played good or my opponent played bad,
쉽게 이겨가지고
but it was a very easy win.
잘한 것 같아요.
I think I played well today.
아무래도 이혜원 선수의 스타일을 완벽하게 좀
And it felt like you exploited Saxery's playstyle.
좀 어떤 부분을 중점을 뒀나요?
And in practice, which point did you emphasize on?
평소에 하는 연습이랑 완전 다르다고 생각해요.
Well, stage performance is definitely different from practice.
평소에 많이 안전하게 하기 때문에
So I tend to play quite passive in my games.
하고 3경기부터는 조금
And
기본기를 해야겠다
from
생각을
in the
했는데
first set, I played quite aggressive, and from the second game, I played a little passive.
컨트롤을 그리고 그 전술적인 그 움직임을 보여주면서
And your zealot maneuvering was awesome today.
되게 멋있어 보였거든요.
And it looked really cool.
사실 1경기 때
In the first set,
처음에 조금 예훈이 형이 많이 긴장을
I felt like Saxery was definitely nervous coming to this
그래서,
match.
그래서 제가 컨트롤하기가 더 편했던
So it was
것 같아요.
easier for me to
긴장하는
maneuver
거를
the
잘
zealots.
느끼니까 제가 좀 더 편해졌던 것 같아요.
So I think him being nervous was quite made my game easier.
뛰어가면서 다크 템플러를 9시로 딱 보내서
And then
이쪽
you send the DT
갑자기
to the 9
마음을
o'clock.
바꿨는지 살짝 빠졌다가
And then you change the route, and then you attack the 9 o'clock position from two directions. And that seemed really cool in my eyes.
다크로 9시 한번 갔는데 막혔길래
Well, I went for the DT rush at 9 o'clock, and it was blocked. So I just went for another route, and I think it worked out really well.
보내면서 그 다크 템플러의 그 시야로 상대 오버로드도 확인을 했다는 거군요.
And with the DT, you gained sight of the overlord as well.
이런 프로토스 정말 보기 힘들었는데요.
It was so magnificent
약간
to see.
비슷한 느낌으로 진행을 했습니다만
상대 그 러커 에그를 봤단 말이에요.
And then you saw the
그리고
lurker
러커
egg.
드랍까지 그 연결되면서 조금 당하는 장면이 보였는데
And then it
그때는
felt like you were
어땠습니까?
being pushed back with the lurker
사실
drops.
그냥 공격하면 끝날 줄 알았는데.
Well, if I attacked,
좀 늦게
and I
봤어요.
think it would have been finished.
앞마당까지 피해 입히면 제가 질 수도 있을 것 같아서.
And then if he had gone for my front expansion as well, I might have lost that.
가자 했는데.
And then I did make a judgment call to just go for his base,
약간 좀
and it turned
위험한
out
상황이
well.
보이긴 했습니다. 상대방이 소수의 히드라만 생산한 상태에서 가스태치를 중단하고
And there was some moments when it felt like you were in danger with hydras.
확실한 그런 전략을 파악할 수 있었습니까?
사실 히드라도 생각을 했었는데.
Well, I did anticipate the hydras.
원래 캐논을 조금 띄워서 짓는데.
But I do kind of put like the space between my cannons.
잘하면 뚫릴 뻔했어요.
And I almost got infiltrated by the hydras.
프로브 한 마리가 좀 길막을 잘해가지고.
And one probe actually did a phenomenal job in blocking the
이렇게
hydras.
경기 내에서 상대의 심리를 이용하는 거 그리고 상대의
And
긴장하는
exploiting your opponent
이용하는 거
in the games.
이렇게 해서 좀 개인 리그에서도 꾸준하게
I guess that's
성적을
why
낼 수
you
있는
have
것
such a good
같은데
performance in the
본인이
individual leagues.
생각하기에 이렇게 꾸준한 성적의 비결은 뭐라고 생각하세요?
Why do you think you're making good progress in
재능?
stage? Is it talent?
재능보다는 그냥
Well, rather than
사람마다
talent,
다른 것 같은데
I think it's
저는 원래
different from every individual.
대회에서 긴장을 많이 해가지고 제 플레이가 많이 안
I
나왔었는데
tend to get really nervous in tournaments.
순간부터 대회에서 약간 마음을 비우고
But from
하니까
some time, I changed my mindset. I play with less nervousness, and I think that's the key.
아마 이영호 선수와 정윤종 선수의 4강 매치가
So
너무
the
보고
round of
싶어서
4
정윤종
between
선수를
Flash
오늘
and Rain
응원한 분들도
is
정말
definitely
많을
going to
것
be the highlight
같아요.
of the season.
또 본인 스스로도 이 대회에서 이영호 선수와
And you
만난
have
적은
mentioned
없어서
before that
개인적으로
you've never
기대를 하고
played against
있다라고
Flash
얘기를 했는데
ever.
어떻게 준비하실 계획이세요?
How are you going to prepare for that?
사실 대회에서 영호랑 한 번도 안 해봤어요.
Well, you know, I really haven't played on stage against Flash. I always avoided playing against him, but now it's the time to play against him.
제가 근데 요새 영호한테 많이 지긴 했어요.
But recently, I've lost to him quite a lot.
많이 안 하실 것 같은데 그래도 네 영호랑 하니까
But
네, 연습을 진짜
playing
많이
against
하려고.
Flash, I'm definitely going to have to
또
prepare a lot
내일
for that.
생일이시더라고요. 축하드립니다.
It's actually your birthday tomorrow.
오히려 또 팬들에게 본인이 이렇게
Congratulations.
좋은 선물을 주게 되신 것 같은데
And you've
팬들에게도 한마디 부탁드려요.
And you've granted the fans
일단
such a good present.
이번에도 4강에 올라가려고 정말
This
열심히
time,
했는데
I prepared really well to go into the round of 4.
네, 항상 응원해 주셔가지고
So I'm going to keep on winning.
여기까지 온 것
And thank you
같아서
guys for cheering me.
감사드립니다.
네, 오늘 승리 다시 한번 축하드리고요.
Once again, congratulations for moving on to the round of 4.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
Basically, Rain and me.
자, 이렇게 해서
have the same
오늘의
birthday.
마지막 4강 진출자 정윤종
Very
선수와
close,
함께했습니다.
And that's
well, it all makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing he wasn't born on your birthday because you can't really live up to that.
No, that would be a problem.
It doesn't matter how many ASLs and KSLs he wins. It's like, well, I mean, Tasus is really the only person born on that day.
So it was a straight up 3-0. All the games are short. Protoss crushing through in the first 2 games with excellent timing attacks. In game 3, Zerg went for it. Went for a Hydra bust. Tried to close it out. Rain with impeccable micro, holds and wins.
He's just such a different level. It's wild just how strong Rain is. One of the best ever in StarCraft 2, and now one of the best ever in StarCraft 1. It's getting wild to watch him advance. As you can see here, Action had a very close series against Sharp, which was basically 5 dumpster fires in a row. And then everyone else dominated. Rain, Flash, and Snow all just smashed their opponents and looked much better. So, I mean, this is a wild semifinals. Flash versus Rain.
So we have a schedule change here. This will be Tuesday and Wednesday because GSL versus the World. The finals of that will be going on during this Sunday. So mark that down on your calendars. Be here at Tuesday and Wednesday, 7 p.m. KST.
Yeah, that's going to be just some killer matches right there. Cannot wait. And the finals will be amazing no matter what it is.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited for this.
I really feel like it's going to be a Flash Snow finals, but let's see what Rain can pull out against Flash. The guy is so unbeatable, you know?
Yeah.
But Rain looks so unbeatable too. So what happens when that happens, Tasus? Have you ever seen black holes hit each other?
Let's keep in mind there's a very high chance that Flash simply has to bring the best TVP we have ever seen.
Yeah.
To possibly beat Rain and Snow.
Yeah.
Whew.
Well, it's Flash's TVP, so it will be the best we've ever seen, but will it be enough?
That's tough, man. The two best Protosses that are out there. I don't know. And maybe Action squeezes through, but I just don't see Action beating Flash, certainly, and Rain. It's hard for me to imagine.
Snow is probably his best bet.
Not even so much how Rain won today, because I feel like some of this was also how Saxery performed, to be frank. But, you know, he just seems untouchable.
Yeah, he just looked ridiculous there. Those probe drills and probe blocks.
Yeah.
What are we even doing here? He's so good.
Yeah.
These players are so good.
It's crazy.
Who would have thought that at the end of the tournament, we have players that are so strong that we just have to shake our heads and just wonder. It's like, how do you get this good at anything? How do you get this good at anything?
It's crazy. Sorry the games are so short, by the way, guys. That's just, you know, a lot of times StarCraft 1 games go on for a very long period. They can be very dramatic, but yeah, sometimes the games are complete and total shutdowns.
Well,
what I thought was going to be like a 2.5-hour night has been about an hour.
When you have a player like Rain that is just so strong. All right, so you know how like Michael Phelps, right? He won like so many gold medals in swimming, and he's like basically shaped like a fish. So
got really long arms.
That's like Rain. Okay, his brain is shaped like a fish, and just it's ridiculous. He just swims through his opponents.
Yeah. Luckily, he does not have flippers for hands, or he'd have to be a Protoss player.
He would. I think it wouldn't affect him too much.
Yeah, he's so good. Flash versus Rain is going to be a treat, but I'm really excited to see if Snow. We're assuming he is going to beat Action. Snow seems to have really fixed and updated his PVZ. Mm-hmm. What are you laughing about?
I'm laughing about like having flippers for hands and playing Protoss with it.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining Rain. He's like sitting there with his flipper, and it's like around a stylus, and he's like playing. He's drawing what he wants to have happen. You know? I think that would be great.
I always imagine one end of the flipper just hitting the keys like that on the end.
Well, he just slaps them.
Yeah.
The thing is, he'd probably be better at PVT if he played like that, right? You just slap the keyboard and send all your units in. Not even Flash can stop that.
By the way, if you're in our audience, do not forget that we are giving away mouse pads, fans, jerseys, and the Carbot skins. We're giving away a code for Carbot skins, which you can use inside of the game.
And it's amazing. It works perfectly, and it's really cool.
Very cute.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the Blizzards doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Been a big fan of Carbot's artwork for a long time. Yeah. It's very cute.
Great stuff. So,
here we are.
This day happened. We barely saw Corsair. We saw no Spires. He did not even make one Spire. He didn't even start a Spire.
No. I don't know if Zerg can get air units besides those Overlords. So there's this guitar playing. That must mean it's time to wrap it up. Hopefully it'll be longer next time. Thank you for joining us, guys. We love you. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are.